Research has shown that uterine fibroids are very common in Afro-Caribbean women. We asked consultant obstetrician and gynecologist Professor Horace Fletcher, who has a special interest in uterine fibroids, to discuss this health issue.
Morning,
Hi,
Professor.
Prof. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
All the very best to you and your family for the year, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
So, sir, a number of persons, we've been hearing the term for a long time now because it's so common, as we mentioned, among Afrocentric women. What would you say, or how would you define uterine fibroids?
So uterine fibroids are abnormal growths of the womb, the uterus. Very common in all women, but the troublesome ones, the very big ones, are the ones which are more common in Afro-Caribbean, if you want, or African women. We don't know why. We have searched diligently to find a cause. We can't really pinpoint it. A lot of it might be genetic, but as I said, it's common in white women as well. And I did a post-mortem study, looking at women who had post-mortem and looking at the uterus. Fibroids were very common. About 80% of women have fibroids. Mm-hmm. But only half of those women will have problems. 50%. Most of them don't have problems.
When you say problem, what do you mean by problems?
The main problems with uterine fibroids are bleeding, very heavy periods, very severe period pains, and a big mass which can obstruct some of the other organs inside. Like the ureters are the ones that carry urine from your kidney to your bladder. It can block that. Or even your blood vessels, the veins that carry blood back to your heart, it can block that and cause a thrombosis.
Is it age-related?
Yes, it's usually found in women in the reproductive age. So once you hit menarche and start to produce estrogen, then fibroids start to grow. Probably not noticeable until you reach your 20s, but it's related to estrogen. Nobody knows why women get very big fibroids. Some people think it might be due to estrogen-like substances which are found in almost everything. Alcohol, it is found in plants, phytoestrogens. A lot of estrogen-like substances are in a lot of the waste plastics,
Okay.
oils, waste engine oils. All these things have estrogen-like substances. So we're not quite sure exactly where the estrogen that is causing fibroids is coming from.
Okay. Are they cancerous, or can they develop into cancer?
They can develop into cancer, but probably only about 1% of fibroids become cancerous.
Can the women have this have fibroids and don't know that they have fibroids?
Very, very commonly.
Very commonly.
Most women will have fibroids and don't know, and it might not be causing noticeable problems. And that's a very important point, because if you go to your doctor and the doctor says, yes, you have fibroids, and they're small, and they're not causing any problem, no heavy bleeding, no anemia, no pain or nothing like that, you shouldn't trouble them.
Okay.
Physically, is there a difference? Can I tell in my body, say something not going on with my body?
Yes, you can have a large tummy because of fibroids, because the fibroid size can vary a lot. So it can be size of a red pea, but it can get a large. We have seen fibroids as large as a jackfruit.
Wow.
So some people might even think you're pregnant or something.
Exactly.
Wow. What about treatment for fibroids? How do we treat them?
The main mode of treatment has been surgical. So we can do what you call a myomectomy, where you go in and take out just the fibroid, leaving the woman's uterus and tubes and so on intact. And as somebody pointed out, you can get pregnant after that. However,
You can or can't?
you can.
Can.
However, once you go inside and take out fibroids, your fertility falls by about 50%. And if you have to do it twice, it goes down to about 15%. Because when you go inside and you operate and touch tubes and so on, then you can get what we call adhesions, everything stuck together, and you can get blocked fallopian tubes. So that's one of the reasons why we say if the fibroid not causing the woman any problem, leave it alone. And some of the doctors will say, you have a fibroid, we schedule you for a myomectomy next week. I'm kind of skeptical about just jumping in and taking out fibroids like that because of the risk of blocking the fallopian tubes. And
If
so
you do that, if you do take out the fibroids, what kind of percentage of a chance for it to come back?
pretty high,
Pretty high.
pretty high.
Wow.
Within 5 years, maybe 50% of the women will have fibroids again.
Again.
Within 5 years.
Doc, you mentioned surgery. Do we have any other types of treatments?
There's one relatively new, I'll say relative because it's been around probably about 10, 15 years, just getting popular in Jamaica now, called uterine artery embolization. And to break that down, you inject some tiny pellets to block the uterine artery that's supplying, I think you have a picture over there,
Yeah.
that's supplying, the artery that's supplying the uterus. You block it, and the fibroids have less blood supply than the rest of the uterus. So it shrinks.
Without surgery, are there
Without
any
surgery.
other ways?
Without surgery.
No, I mean, I've said without surgery. Are there any other ways you can take 2 tablets and them get smaller, them get rid of it, or that's the only way it can be got rid of?
All right, so there are injections and tablets that you can use to shrink fibroids as well. But those also have the recurrence. Within 1 year, them come back. After you've taken these injections or tablets, and the fibroids shrink, within 1 year, they're back. So we usually use those treatments if we want to decrease the size of a big fibroid so you can make a nicer scar, or it's easier to take out. One of the problems with doing that, though, when you inject those treatments, is that it shrink all fibroids, including the littlest ones. So when you go in there to take out fibroids, you can't see some of them. So the recurrence is very, very high with that treatment.
Yeah. All things being equal, you can die from this,
From what?
by having fibroids. And I say all things being equal because so it's not cancerous and it's not grapefruit size.
Yes, you can die from it, but it's not very common to die from fibroid. But the complications of the fibroids can cause you to die. So, for example, obstructing your kidneys can cause kidney failure.
Right.
Obstructing the veins that carry blood back to your heart can result in what we call thrombosis, clots. And the clots can go to your lungs and give you pulmonary embolism, and you can die from it.
Yes.
But the fibroid itself is not usually going to cause you to die. The 1% of women who have cancer, it can cause them to die.
Okay. By the way, me can't get it.
You can't get uterine fibroids, but there are cases where fibroid-like growths occur in muscles, any other muscles in your body. But
Professor,
don't worry.
I was joking, Professor.
Men don't get uterine fibroid. They have a uterus, hopefully.
Thank you. Hopefully. Thank you so much, sir. Very, very
so
well
much.
explained. Great to see you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Obstetrician and gynecologist, Professor Horace Fletcher. 10 minutes to your health. We'll do it again next Thursday.